position. Rise up, make that decision. God will provide all your needs. He wants you to succeed. Have faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet. Rise up.
This is Drexel Seema, and welcome to the Drexel Seema Show. Another beautiful day, another segment here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. I'm so delighted to have a special guest here. I mean, she's not currently in the Turks and Caicos. I believe she's in California, but she is from the Turks and Caicos Islands. So I'm delighted to have as my guest today, Miss Lolita Ariza, but I will let her introduce herself. Miss Ariza, thank you for giving me the opportunity to have you on my show. I really appreciate this.
My pleasure. Hi, I'm Lolita Ariza. Most of you know me as Loki.
That's right.
I used to be Miss Turks and Caicos back in 1982, 83. Ran to the Miss World, Miss Universe pageants. I was actually the first Miss Turks and Caicos to go to the Miss World and Miss Universe in the same year. My sister Carmelita, as you all know, was also the Miss Turks and Caicos, and she actually placed in the Miss World, Miss Universe pageant and did well for our country, put us on the map, kind of.
Yeah, top 10.
I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, Carmelita was in the top 10, right?
She placed 7th, actually. She was a little shy. If she was more outgoing at the time and not as shy, she probably would have won that pageant.
Yeah.
She scored the highest in the swimsuit. I was actually watching it the other day. I was really proud of her.
Yeah, I was proud too. I was in college in Ohio back then, and I was so excited because no one ever heard about Turks and Caicos. But when Carmelita came on that stage, I said, "There it is, Turks and Caicos."
I got her ready to go in the pageant. She was a little shy. I got her ready, and she was nervous.
Yeah,
she did really well.
Yeah.
She was what? She just turned 18.
Oh, she was young.
Yeah.
So what else have you been doing to keep you busy, Miss Ariza?
Well, I've come up with my own cookbook where I've made over 65 dishes from grits.
65 dishes from grits?
Yes, absolutely. Well, there are some toppings and some Turks and Caicos Islands indigenous dishes in the book as well. I've dedicated this whole book to Turks and Caicos, actually. Went back to my humble beginnings. My mother, Alice Missick, everybody affectionately called her Punks. Yeah, and she used to cook for all the diplomats that comes to the islands. She cooked for all the police officers. So I was always around food. And, we grew up on grits, for breakfast only. And we had grits probably different ways, Tonkin grits,
peas and grits.
Peas and grits. We only used to do red beans and grits, but I have broadened that, and I've made red beans and grits, black eyed peas and grits, all sorts of beans and grits as well. I made grits mac and cheese, grits pizza, grits
pizza,
grits ice cream, grits mac and cheese.
Wow.
Grits, a jalapeno chili cheese, grits fries, grits pancakes, grits waffles. You can go to my food page, Grits and Toppings.
What is your website?
My website is gritsandtoppings.com. That's where you can buy the products, and my cookbook will be out within a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And my actual food business page is Grits and Toppings on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
And the website is gritsandtoppings.com.
Got it. Grits and Toppings.
It's spelled just like it sounds. GRITSANDTOPPINGS.com. So yeah.
Okay. So Miss Ariza, what prompted you or what caused you to get involved in doing this grits with over 65 recipe? What motivated you to do this?
Well, I could have always come out with a cookbook with all my best dishes, because anybody who knows me know that I am a phenomenal cook.
Oh.
And I credit that to my mother. She was an incredible cook and baker. She did everything from scratch. So I pride myself on doing everything from scratch, like even down to the chicken and turkey broth. I make those myself, all the broths for all the dishes and
Wow.
recipes. I make everything from scratch. This is a from scratch cookbook. So if you don't like cooking and you don't want to really learn how to cook everything from scratch, this is not for you. So everybody want to do everything quick. Even my grits, it takes 45 minutes to cook because
Mhm.
it's organic grains and it's stone ground. So it's just like grits we used to call it.
Mhm.
I wish I can get those grits,
But
but
we
it'll
do
probably
have, yeah, we do have some folks in North Caicos that are producing grits as well.
well,
Yeah.
I've made an attempt to reach out to her and we never did connect, but it would be great to have her grits, to make my dishes with.
All right,
I'd
I'll
love to
reach
have
out.
that.
I'll reach out
But
to her.
yeah, so
So do
yeah,
you
so
have a restaurant too, or you just, 'cause with all these? Do you have a restaurant, or you plan to have
no,
a
I'm
restaurant?
going. The restaurant is coming. I'm going to franchise the restaurant. I actually had a few tastings last year throughout the year, and everybody it was well received. Everybody really loved it, and everybody's looking forward to the restaurant. Planning to open a franchise in Turks and Caicos, Grits and Toppings, Turks and
That'll be
Caicos,
great. That would be
and
great.
yeah, and as you can see, the logo I used the logo of the coat of arms,
Yeah.
but the version that I used, my aunt Anna Ani, we call her affectionately, she made those. Ani used to make the coat of arms from the shells, the seashells that was picked from the actual beaches on Grand Turk.
Uh-huh.
So Ani made the coat of arms, and I have the last four that she made before she passed on.
Mm. But
Yeah.
I love how you incorporated the Turks and Caicos cultural aspect in it. The coat of arms and the crafts. I love how you did that, and I appreciate that. It means a
My
lot.
pleasure. My
Yeah.
pleasure. That's my humble beginnings. I'll never forget it. I love growing up in Turks and Caicos. I really, really do. We had such a great life and it was free. You know who your characters were, and I was very blessed and thankful.
Yeah.
And I'm truly grateful.
Yeah. Do you have
But
a copy of your book that you can show us on screen? Do you have any?
well, the book is not out
Oh, okay,
yet,
that's
but
good.
you can see the cover if you go to my website. You'll see the cover there saying that it's coming soon.
Got it. You did mention that. Yes.
Yeah, and you'll see all everything there. But back to the grits, one day I was driving and I said, I'm gonna make some grits ice cream. And then I came home and I thought about it in my head, well, how I'm gonna make this grits ice cream, and then I did it. And then it went on from there. Then I made grits waffles, and then I made the yellow grits lobster ball with the curry sauce.
I would
And
love to try that grits ice
it's
cream.
really delicious. I got so
I mean,
much
I
great
like to try all
response.
of this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and a grits ice cream palo is not a bad idea as well. I think it would be really well, like different flavors of the ice cream.
This
And
is
it's
very
really, really, really delicious. And it's innovative. No one has ever done it before,
no. This
so
is unique.
thank you.
This is unique. A lot of people don't even know about grits. I mean, in some parts of I know in Canada, my wife and I we lived in Canada and we're looking for grits, and the lady says, "Is that edible?" They never heard about grits, but I know people
Yeah,
from the
well,
south. You know,
ironically, the Asian people love grits. A lot of Asians grew up on grits. Grits used to have a negative connotation associated with it, that it was only for the poor slaves, like the chitlings and the collard greens and all the things that became a soul food, to everyone else. We made it into something. But this particular grits that I have three different kinds. I have
okay.
the white grits, and it's
Mhm.
Ariza grits, and it's stone ground and it's organic grains. It takes about 45 minutes to cook, and I also have some recipes on the back. This
Okay.
recipe is the seasoned grits pepper jack balls. So
Mm.
these are the seasoned grits, and then when you bite it, you have a nice bust of soft, warm pepper jack in the middle of these balls.
Mhm.
And it's
And
and
I
then
think it's certainly better than eating rice.
exactly. And grits can be the new alternative for rice because grits, it has a lot of these grits here have a lot of the nutritional properties that we need on our daily basis. Like it has 25% of the daily recommended iron, it has fiber, it has everything, it has a lot of the properties that you need for your daily nutrition. So that's why I would truly recommend stone ground grits, because the regular grits in the store, it has a long shelf life because it was grounded down and all the shucks was ground off of it. That's the reason why it only takes 5 minutes to cook. And that's why a lot
Uh,
of people it makes you gain weight. With this grits, it wouldn't make you gain weight like that. It's really good for you nutritiously on a daily basis. And I've shown you how you can use it, how you can have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and desserts.
I love it.
So,
I love grits, but I must make a confession. I've never cooked grits before.
well,
Um,
you'll learn now. So
yeah,
this
my
is
wife
the
cooks grits, but I only cook white rice. So
okay.
I'm excited to try this out.
Yeah, and this is the yellow grits. And then you have
Yellow
a
grits.
recipe, you have the grits quiche on the back here. And then we have the blue grits. Like the blue grits is from the blue corn.
Oh,
Most people have never really heard about
the
the
blue corn.
the blue corn grits, but these grits are really delicious. They taste really well, really great. And on the back here, we have the decorated blue grits with the crispy salmon on the
Hmm.
back here.
So what's the difference between the blue and the yellow one?
Well,
Is
it's just the different kinds of corn. It's just a
um,
different kind of corn, and the texture of these grits is just a full body grits. Like if you ever had the grits from North Caicos, these would put you in mind of that kind of grits. And that's organic as well. Like people now are just becoming familiar with organic. We grew up on organic. Like even we drank the rainwater, everything we did was organic. So this new thing for these, for this new culture, everything is organic. Everything has been organic for us. So it's nothing new. So yes, I do practice making everything organic. And, like I said, I do everything from scratch because that's how we grew up. We didn't have fast food and all
no.
that stuff,
Mhm.
So then I also have my own line of spices.
Oh, I saw
Like,
that.
like this one is the Ariza seafood blend, seafood and poultry blend. And
Hmm.
this one is and it has low salt and it's kosher. When you see this symbol, here's how you know something is kosher. When you see this symbol here
Hmm.
on it, that little U thing, it's
Okay.
kosher, it's non-GMO, no MSG, and it's low salt.
Hmm.
This one here is the Ariza onion everything seasoning, and this one here has no salt at all, and it's no MSG, no GMOs, and it's also kosher. This one is no salt, and it has a lot of herbs and spices, and look how beautiful and
Mm.
robust and
Yeah.
colorful that
The
is.
presentation is very good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And this one here is the spicy Ariza onion everything seasoning, the spicy blend, and this one will give you a really nice kick. And this is also non-GMO, no MSG. It's also kosher, and also it's no salt as well.
Okay.
So
And we
those
can
are my
get these things from your website.
yes, you can get these things from my website. Also, um, the cookbook is coming out soon. It will be out now. We're doing the final edits and everything on it right now as we speak, and it will be out soon. And we can pre-order soon as well. We'll start pre-ordering next week, and then they'll come out shortly after that.
All right. Do you plan to do like the launch in Turks and Caicos?
Absolutely, of course, of course. Why
Yeah,
wouldn't I? I'm celebrating Turks and Caicos,
true. When do you
So
think you'll do that?
probably nearing to probably around November or so. I mean,
Number.
well, the December probably closest, like going probably on top of the year. I haven't really decided the date yet, so we're still working on that.
This is incredible. So how long did it take you to come up with these 65 recipes that I'm assuming it was a period of time?
We have grits fried plantain.
Right, plantain.
Yeah, so you have the seasoned grits, and then you have the fried plantain inside of it, and then you cook the grits. I have a special recipes for the grits, and
Fried plantain
then
is my favorite thing.
yeah, so you have a whole meal in one. You can have 6 pieces. You can have the grits and fried plantain. Then I made a sweet plantain sauce to go on the top of that. So like I've come up with all these creative dishes.
You're
You
gonna do
have
well. You're gonna do well. You're gonna do extremely well.
thank you. So I'm hoping that some of the restaurants and the chefs will incorporate some of my grits dishes and grits recipes into their restaurant menus.
I believe they will.
Yeah,
I
so
believe they will. I certainly believe they will because it's also different.
Yes.
It's different from what's on the regular menu, and a lot of people want to try new things. Even locals want to try something new. But the
I
good
think
thing
they would
about it's not
probably
cheap.
have. Yeah, I think you could probably. I also have this dish called black eyed peas and grits chicken lollipop, where you have the nice fried chicken leg, and then you have the black eyed peas and grits around it, and then it's deep fried. So you have the whole meal
Hmm.
right there on a stick, and you can have sides with it. And I also have my own version of the conch stew in the book. I have my conch fritters. I have pastelitas.
Hmm.
I have like a whole section dedicated to like the things we grew up on, the
That-
appetizers and snacks. And I have desserts. I have a grits sweet potato pie. I have a blue
hmm,
grits pound cake. I
That's
have
lovely.
a sweet grits cinnamon cake. I have a grits cupcake. I have grits icing. I have a holiday grits sauce. I have a tricolor roasted grits potato
Hmm.
salad. I mean, potato salad with aioli grits sauce.
Wow.
I've made this grits, and I'm telling you,
Yeah.
and it's delicious. I'm
Listen,
telling you, it
just
is
listening to
really.
you, making
It's
me
like
hungry.
finger licking good. It's
You're
so
making me hungry
good.
right now. Listening to you. Wow. I can't wait to to tap into some of your recipes.
Well, I'm delighted to serve them.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
makes me feel good when I see people really enjoying these dishes.
That's amazing how you could just take this one product and you come up with 65 different things from it.
Well, I have more, but I'm leaving it for volume two. I also have a vegan slash vegetarian version coming out as well. I'm currently doing the research and working on that. So that'll be coming soon
Oh,
as
okay.
well.
Okay. That's
And the
that's
grits are vegan. People can eat these grits, vegan, vegetarians, anyone, because it's just grounded corn. There's
oh
no
I see.
preservatives. Also, this grits, the shelf life is around 8, 9 months, but if you put them in the freezer, and the grains will never freeze. If you
Hmm.
put it in the freezer, it lasts 2 years.
Oh,
So you have
okay.
to yeah, freeze them
Okay.
after you receive them.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
say the shelf life is
8 months is
8 months.
because they're organic and stone ground versus the other grits that the shelf life that's a longer shelf life because they're unhealthy grits,
Right.
compared to
Right.
this grit.
Right. That's why
Right.
you
So
say you could cook it within 5 minutes, but with the odds,
right.
it's
It,
45 minutes.
yes.
And then you say we could freeze it and it
Yes.
could last up to
two
two,
years.
2 years.
2 years, yes. And then the grains will never freeze though. It'll be still the same grits when you take it out the freezer.
Okay. Okay. And do you have like on your website, you should have all the different pictures of the different 65 recipes, right?
Yes, on my website, on my food page, Grits and Toppings on Instagram and Facebook, you can see a few of the pictures in there, but the cookbook will feature all those pictures as well.
Okay. And the Instagram will be grits and toppings.
Yes,
And the Facebook page is grits and toppings.
yes.
Right. Okay.
And the
Right.
website is gritsandtoppings.com.
Right. Right. I got it. I got it. This is incredible, and I really thank you for this opportunity. And I don't see anything like this happening here or anywhere else where
Well,
you
it
take
is
this product.
happening here now. I'm bringing it there.
That's right. That's right. You
And
bring
the
it.
rapping Turks and Caicos, because
Yes.
it's indigenous to Turks and Caicos. That's where I was born and raised.
Yes. And
So
I
I wouldn't
think
have it any other way.
this month is Heritage Month in the Turks and Caicos.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, then let's
Cuba.
celebrate my father, Ariza, Oswaldo Ariza, and Juan Ariza brothers, for pioneering electricity in Turks and Caicos Islands. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes, I think I read that somewhere in one of the history books. Yes.
Yes, well, my
Yeah.
father and my uncle Juan, they built a generator in my grandmother's backyard and serviced 35 homes within a 1.5 mile radius. And
Mm.
then the first light came on Christmas Eve or Christmas night on December 25th, 1960 was the first light, but I think it was the one by
Oh,
Miss Irene Godet's corner. I'm not too
1960.
sure,
Oh wow. Okay, I
but
wasn't born yet.
by me either. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I want to give
Yeah,
homage to them.
yeah,
And then
from an
my
ambitious
mother,
family actually.
Hmm?
Your family's very ambitious, and you are doing the same thing. You're carrying on
Well,
that
thank you.
legacy of being ambitious and being entrepreneur. Being
And
an
then
entrepreneur.
my mother, Alice Mizik, she had one of the first restaurants. And like I said, she served all the diplomats, the police officers, and everyone on the island, Pondview. I named that restaurant. And then my uncle, Evan Mizik, Storm, he started the development in Turks and Caicos Harbor House.
Hmm.
All those was Uncle Storm. Then my Uncle Stanley, he did the Churchill building and all those other buildings. They constructed those buildings on Front Street. And my Uncle Storm, I think, had one of the first office buildings on Grand Turk Island. And then
Yes.
Franklin, he developed Grand Turk, Franklin Music, and all those are my relatives and family. My
Yes.
grandmother, Lois Ariza, she go way back. Mama Lo, everybody call her Mama Lo. And then my son, Trevor Ariza,
Oh, yes.
one of the first basketball players from Turks and Caicos, the only one I
Well, I
believe.
think you
I don't
saw
know
me one, right?
so
Playing in
far,
NBA
but I'm
Turks and
sure.
Caicos.
And you got my grandson, Taj Ariza, coming up.
All right. Right.
So, hey, we've created a legacy. How about that?
You have, and I'm
My
so
sister,
happy.
the only Miss Turks and Caicos to make it to
You
the
were
Miss
top.
Universe pageant and placed.
That's right.
So we've said a lot. We have rich history in Turks and Caicos Islands. I'd
You
have
definitely
you know.
have. You definitely have. And there's nothing you're making up. It's there. The history is there. It's written. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know.
Mhm.
Do you have
And
anything else you want to share?
my auntie, Anita Anna, I want to
Anita?
give her homage as well for doing all the craft work, for the coat of arms, like the one that's featured on
Oh
my.
yes, the one you said you have the four that before she died.
Yes, she used to
Hmm.
make. She was the only one who's ever made the shell coat of arms in Turks and Caicos, and I was wondering someone else should try to take that up,
Yeah.
because it's really beautiful compared to the one that we have on our website.
Yeah. I will
Maybe
speak to
they
this
can
company.
incorporate. Maybe they can speak to the family and incorporate hers as our
Yeah.
national coat of arms.
Yeah.
You
That's
know.
a good idea actually. And
Mhm.
that was great from Turks and Caicos. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah.
I enjoyed this conversation. You have anything else you want to share, Miss Arisa?
Mm. Well, I just hope the young people in Turks and Caicos would stop the crime and,
You know.
bringing bread press to us. It's not even necessary. Like when I was a little girl, the most someone would do is probably throw a rock.
Mhm.
Then if a grown up sees you throwing the rock, you're in trouble, So we really were, I don't know if we were afraid of our elders, but we respected them.
Yeah.
So we didn't do these things. And I just hope to God that they, find these young men who's doing these things and give them some form of rehabilitation so they can recognize that this is really not the answer,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
I'm really saddened to hear about that stuff.
Yeah, we all are. I mean, I just hope and I believe I have some hope that things will get better.
Well, I'm hoping so. I
Yeah.
really am.
Yeah. We've had now a lot of hope from the Bahamas. We're getting some hope now from the UK.
Mhm.
I mean, this was one of the first weekends that we haven't had anything yet. So I'm thankful for that.
Well, praise God Almighty.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm appreciative of this time, this talk. And is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
Well, what's next for you after you do this? I mean, what are your plans? What are your next goals?
I'm working on a few things
Oh,
actually.
okay. Okay.
Like I said, I'm working on the vegan/vegetarian version of the cookbook, and then we got to come out with volume 2 because I have a lot of other recipes to come up with as well.
Hmm.
So anything that you can think of, grits can do it.
Right.
But there's different types of grits and different ways you cook the grits for different recipes. So get the cookbook; it's coming soon.
Hmm.
And go to my website, gritsandtoppings.com. Follow my business page, Grits and Toppings, and on Instagram and Facebook. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So before we go though, I know you were Miss Turks and Caicos. Your sister was Miss Turks and Caicos. But somehow we
My
have
cousin was as well.
yes,
My
Edna,
cousin
right?
Shamara.
Shamar.
Edna was my sister Carmelita. That's Carmelita's auntie.
Oh,
She's not related to me, but of course we all are related. But one of my friends, Abby Smith slash Adams, that's her little sister.
okay.
Yeah.
So, we somehow we've discontinued the the pageant. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
I think they should really go back to that
Mhm.
because it's really a big deal. It may seem like it's not, but it really is. Because your country get to be represented in front of millions of people, and people love to watch beauty pageants.
Mhm.
So I think the tourism board should just come and step in and sponsor the girl. I
Yeah,
think we should have a budget for that, seriously, because other
yeah.
countries' girls, they go to those pageants and their country have them decked out.
I
But
agree
it's
with
the
you.
burden of the queen on the island to pay our own way. I think that the tourism board should get more involved in the Miss Turks and Caicos. But you know what? They actually Miss Rita Gardner now is doing that. When I was home, I
Yes,
was
we
a
started
judge.
some festival in Grand Turk, I think, but I know.
I was the judge at the Miss Grand Turk pageant, and this
Oh, you
beautiful
won.
young
Oh,
I
okay.
was there. This beautiful young lady won, and I was very enamored with her talent. Man, she
Mhm.
can really sing. I mean, this
Mhm.
girl can sing, and she's absolutely stunning and beautiful. All the girls were really beautiful,
Yeah.
and it was really hard judging between the first runner-up and the queen.
Yeah. Probably always.
And one of the rules were the first runner-up. She had a really beautiful dress, but they say don't judge the dress, judge the way she wears the dress.
Oh.
So the first runner up wore her dress better
Mm.
and her talent. The talent carried a lot of points.
Mm.
And her talent actually won the pageant,
Mm.
and she did win it too. She was very poised. And she can represent the country very well
Mhm.
going somewhere. I would pick her any day to represent the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think she'll do well if she goes on to win the Miss Turks and Caicos.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have that pageant yet, Miss Turks and Caicos. So, but it's a
I
good
think Rita.
promotion.
I think Rita's gonna do it. I
Oh,
think
okay.
Rita's gonna do it.
Okay.
I think she should do it. Someone should do it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be hosted in Provo. But if they want it, because Grand Turk is the capital island, just remember that. Keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's never going to change.
Right.
And I really do think like some of the islands, like Salt Key, should be made into like a museum. Like a lot of because Salt Key has a lot of
Historical information.
history.
Mm.
So I think like it should be like a museum, and maybe someone should stay on the island to run it. But like the people should migrate to Grand Turk or Provo or somewhere because there's
Oh boy,
nothing
you're gonna.
actually on Salt Key.
Oh boy. Oh, that's some sensitive stuff. No one wants to leave the. No one wants to leave the island.
And you Salt
That's,
Key people love Salt Key, child.
especially the elderly folks. They don't want to leave the
They
island.
love Salt
Right.
Key. They
Yeah.
love
Eat
Salt Key. But
salty
Salt
and
Key, there's nothing on Salt Key.
yeah,
Nothing. My
but
little
then
sister Daphne
they
grew
don't
up on
mind.
Salt Key.
That's their home. That's their home. So Middle Cake is
Yeah.
the same way. That's it's in them. So you can't.
I used to live on Middle Caicos and
You
Q
did?
with
Oh, okay.
Di and Glenn. I used to live with Di and Glenn when
Clark.
I was Di Clark and Glenn
Oh,
Clark.
okay.
Glenn used to be the principal of the high school in Q, and I used to stay with them. I think I was around 10 or 11, something like that. I was in elementary school.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mhm. I have
Well,
family in Q as well,
okay.
the Mizik family.
Yes, yes. You're
Yeah.
probably all related anyway, right?
Hmm?
All of you are related anyway, the Mystics and
But
all.
my mother was a Mizik.
Yeah, yeah.
Michael's grandfather and my grandfather, I think his grandfather name was Jake, great grandfather, and my great grandfather's name was Paned. They were brothers, Jake and Paned.
Oh,
Some of the mystics spell their name with one S, some
I
with two.
noticed. I noticed that.
Yes,
For your
so
Bond family.
it's the same family.
Well, I want to say thank you again. Anything else you want to say before we conclude?
Now I want to say
Mm.
hi to everybody and keep the peace. Turks and Caicos Islands, we're one big happy family. Let's love and support each other and spread love.
Oh,
Tell some
yeah, there's one more thing. I saw you
Mhm.
had something to say. I can't believe it's not. It's great. Some.
Yeah, I can't believe it's grits because you
Oh,
won't think it's grits. Like
okay.
the recipes, you won't believe it's grits.
Okay.
But
Oh,
that's one of my slogans. I can't believe it's grits.
okay. Okay. I remember seeing that somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, thank you again. And you've been watching the Drexel SEMA show. I was here with interviewing Miss Lolita Ariza, one of former Miss Turks and Caicos who represented us in Miss Universe and Miss World. She now has developed over 65 recipes from grits, which is one of our local food that we always, that's what's our main our breakfast, or we eat peas and grits on Saturdays. And she has taken that and not forgetting where she came from and came up with 65 different recipes. The website is gritsandtoppings.com. A book will be coming out pretty soon. I encourage you to support her. She also has spices. You can find that on the website as well, Grits and Topping. She has an Instagram page and a Facebook page, Grits and Topping. And I think this what she's doing is very, very unique. And it's just amazing how sometimes we take things for granted. But here she is. She was innovative. She thought outside the box and used this product and came up with all these different recipes. I'm looking forward to them,
Thank you.
especially the grits and plantain, because I love plantain. And I can't wait to see
Grits fried plantain, seasoned grits fried
fried
plantain.
plantain. And
Yeah.
then she has
So you
grits
have a
based
whole meal
cream.
right there. Could be an
Yeah,
appetizer or a meal.
it's amazing. And I wish you the best, Mr. Risa. I know you're gonna do well
Thank
because
you so much. I appreciate it.
yeah, there's nothing like this right now. You're gonna do well. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All
All
right.
right, my pleasure.
Hope to see you soon in Turks and Caicos.
You will.
All right. Okay, then.